body of steel and flesh, sweat of muscle and rage.
Generals gathered in their masses.
I will attack the Greeks with my entire navy.
Just like witches at black masses.
He has sold her soul to death himself.
Today we will dance across the backs of dead Greeks.
You're no god. You're just a man.
Choose your glory!
And let it be shown that we chose to die on our feet rather than live on our knees.
A wind has blown across Greece. A wind of freedom. A wind of sacrifice. A wind of vengeance.
300, Rise of an Empire, goes right alongside the first film.
The idea was to create a second story, if you will, to the architecture of the first one.
This is a sea battle that takes place in the same 3 days as Thermopylae.
It becomes a parallel story, really, to the first one.
This is about this elite group of warriors and the free men and women of Greece, that they have the choice whether to stand and fight or not.
There is only one thing to make sure of when the fighting starts. What's that? Don't get killed on the first day.
Themistocles was an Athenian general and politician.
We must negotiate! Negotiate with tyranny. Give me one example of when that has ever profited a nation.
It makes him a very unique character because he lives in two worlds.
He's the leader of the Free Greeks. He's a very proud man. I do what I must to defend Greece.
And I do what I must to defeat her.
Artemizium, who's this fantastic general who drives an unbelievable army against Greece.
Today we will dance across the backs of dead Greeks.
It's really simple, just don't mess with her.
She's going to bring all of hell with her.
I did a bit of research on the battles and on my character Artemisia. Her whole family got killed by Greek soldiers, so she has that need for revenge.
She has her own ambition and her own drive, and she leads the way to getting Xerxes to become a god.
For glory's sake.
What I love is we get to see his birth, how he became the god king Xerxes, what drove him.
His father was wounded by Themistocles at Marathon.
We have an understanding of Xerxes' personal dilemma in the death of his father.
Only the gods can defeat the Greeks. You will be a god king.
Xerxes is left with that huge responsibility, and he goes through a transformation process.
And there is a graphic quality to how evil and how cruel, and in many ways, this is his story.
Nothing will stop the march of our empire.
Queen Gorgo is one of the strongest characters in the entire landscape.
We are not interested in a united Greece. That is your dream, Themistocles, not ours. She's a politician and a warrior. Sparta is her pride and her blood. Shall I put swords in the hands of my son, our children? Would that please you?
She reminds us what the stakes were for the Spartans.
Avenge him. We will face the monster that casts a shadow across our land.
There's more scope, a bigger story to tell.
I will attack the Greeks with my entire navy. It is epic, it's cool, it's modern.
It's love and hate. war.
Brutal, violent, it's fantastic.
Today is a story that will be told for 1,000 years. Let our final stand be recorded to the histories. And let it be shown that we chose to die on our feet rather than live on our knees.
The oracle's words stood as a warning. All of Greece will fall. Only stout wooden ships can save them. And a tidal wave of heroes' blood.
The first movie had a look that we had never seen before.
Spartans.
300 was one battle, but in the meantime, this was like a big war between the Persian army and the Greeks.
300 took place in a very confined environment. This opens up.
This is a sea battle that takes place in the same 3 days as Thermopylae. Instead of the ground, it's the decks of heaving ships.
Brace yourself!
That's the surface they're standing on when they fight.
And that affords us a brand new palette. And the fact that this movie is in 3D is amazing because we can take this Frank Miller look and it lends itself in a very different way to 3D.
It's these unbelievable artists working together so that you can feel immersed in this world and it just pulls you into the story.
And we get to see a lot more of Greece and the Persian Empire.
So we knew with the advent of 3D and the opportunity that once again, we can change the landscape.
It's one of the reasons why I got excited about it, because we didn't want to do exactly the same thing. So I had the chance to bring something to the table. And there is so much to discover in this one. This whole world of Persia is black, is sterile, and very monolithic.
The Persian ships are larger than life, and we clad them in thin black metal with different animal heads.
There's a sort of Germanic quality to it, to the way that the Persians are versus the lean vessels of the Greeks.
The ships are absolutely amazing because basically they're simple platform for just the troop to get together. And all you had is a bar where you see guys rowing.
And to play with the element of water, whether it's raining, whether the sea is really tumultuous, sometimes it's placid. And the sea is almost a character in this film.
Steady your hearts. Look deep into your souls. Seize your glory!
It's a naval battle, but what they would do is drive these boats into each other. And then jump on the boat and go into hand-to-hand combat. And they come up with some insane fights. This is going to be an epic movie, and it's a great film for the big screen.
The idea of this movie was always interesting because it takes place at the same exact time that the first one took place, but it's from a different perspective.
It's more of a companion film than a sequel or prequel.
Spartans! Tonight, we dine in hell!
We're just upping the ante from what we established in the first 300.
300 was one battle, which was at the gates of fire. But in the meantime, this was like a big war. The Persian army, they were trying to conquer Athens. The war was everywhere in the Greek Sea and the Aegean Sea.
Nothing will stop the march of my empire.
Themistocles, who was an Athenian general who led the Greek navy against the Persians.
He's a very proud man. He loves his country, and he tries to unite Greece against the Persians coming to enslave them.
We will face the monster that casts a shadow across our land.
The great thing about Sully is that he's a very strong, passionate guy, and that was exactly what we were looking for in Themistocles. It's very hard to find a leading man that can have that kind of depth and at the same time look good with a sword.
Artemisia is Xerxes' general, and she is such a great bad guy. Or a bad girl.
I will attack the Greeks with my entire navy.
In this case, Xerxes, what I love is we get to see his birth, so to speak, how he became the God King.
Only the gods can defeat the Greeks. You will be a God King.
For glory's sake, war!
It's not a natural sequel. We had an incredible house. Now we're going to build an amazing second floor. And I think that's what they're going to get. Something, once again, that'll change the landscape.
Leonidas' sacrifice will not be forgotten.
So many people have tried to replicate the look and feel of the original film, but we are the only true original 300.
But there will be death and destruction.
Yes, there will be.
Generals gathered in their masses.
Today we will dance across the backs of dead Greeks.
Just like witches at black masses.
She's going to bring all of hell with her.
It is epic, it's modern, it's cool.
Brutal and a lot of fun.
Seize your glory! And let it be shown that we chose to die on our feet rather than live on our knees!